What's up, dude?
What's up, my friend? You were missed.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, I had to hit the road. I was bummed that we couldn't shoot an episode last week. But,
the most important thing is, did you save the world?
Yeah, well,
okay.
I tried, I guess. What's up, guys? This is Brian.
Jesse.
You're watching MMA the hard way?
In the car. Some good fights have come up, man.
Dude, I mean, a little off of the normal topic.
Yeah.
Bellator's got a new middleweight champion.
Why isn't Flamenco in the UFC?
Dude.
I said to myself...
That guy is good.
Oh,
Did you see him just attacking against the cage?
I've seen his last 7 or 8 fights, and I said to myself, you know what? When I saw he was in fight Macau, I was says
Feijão or
Macau. I can never. He's freaking Brazilian, but I said to myself, you know what? Let me check him. I wonder if he's ever been like in the early part of the UFC.
Yeah.
No, he's never been in the UFC, and the guy's a beast, and he's got an iron chin. And yeah.
You know what's interesting is you got we learned 2 things in the last week. At least I did. The way that he was treating him at the weigh-ins with the cell phone thing. And then you look at Overeem. And the way Overeem was walking out, just
that cockiness, that arrogance.
And what happened to him? If you guys are like me and you can't get enough of watching Bigfoot Silva knock out Overeem, check out MMAthehardway.com.
I think I have it up right now as we speak. Let me see. Here we go.
Oh, man.
You know what? It was, but we just broke away. But I was on there.
You go to MMAthehardway.com, either on your phone, on your computer, and I put looping knockout.
I was looking at your website. What was really cool is that when he's getting destroyed by Silva, there's a poster that says "Dead Man" right there as he's getting knocked out.
On the upper post.
I mean, it was really, really cool.
Man.
So basically, that's the one thing that stood out. The other thing is, we know who now might be the beast on Tough.
Yeah, Uriah Hall. That
man.
Spinning back kick. Man.
You know what? Not only the knockout, but the guy was not knocked out, but I don't want to cuss, but he was knocked. He was gone. Yeah. I mean, they were scared at one point, like he was not going to come back. I mean, that was a scary.
Wow. That was a solid connection. He was just lighting him up.
He was just setting it up. He wasn't.
That might be the guy.
Well, him or they're still saying that it might be Tor, but we'll see what happens. But it was a great fight, so I'm looking forward to more.
So this Saturday, UFC's going to London.
Yep.
And we got Fuel. It's like 7 or 9 or something like that.
Some off, yeah. I'm sure there's gonna be a tape delay or whatnot. But we're gonna just break it down really quick. Go through them as as quickly.
Yeah,
but
I mean, half of them are on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, if and then the other half are on Fuel.
Yeah.
So we'll go from what? First fight on Facebook.
We'll go from the top. Okay, so the first one is Phil Harris versus Ulysses Gomez. Like you said, more flyweights. It's pretty much evenly matched, you said.
It's nice to see some more 125-pound fighters getting displayed.
They're both coming off losses, so they're both hungry, but they have both have really good records. Next, we have...
and the Phil Harris is the Brit, I believe, isn't he? So he'll be the local fan favorite, but I think... ranking-wise, they're both in the 50s.
Yeah, 59 and 53, which courtessy
for
of
flyweights.
Yeah.
Hey,
it's there.
See what happens.
That needs to be that division needs to be built up.
Yeah.
The next is Van Lee versus Matonobu Tuzika, Japanese guy. Very fast fight, and also Van Lee's Brit, so he's gonna be the fan favorite. And like you said, it's gonna be a really, really fast fight. Both
coming off losses.
Yeah, so they're both gonna be kind of hungry.
Yeah.
Next one is Tom Watson versus, I could never pronounce his name.
Stanislav Negkov.
Now,
that's a middleweight, or
185ers. Yeah. Middleweights. Now, basically, they're both. Now. Nedlov has a no contest because of Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva because of the
420.
Was it 420 or TRT?
No, with this time you know what? No, I think it was.
I thought it was.
No, TRT was the last time. I think this time was something. I'm almost positive it was 420.
Yeah.
I think fight, and then Tom Watson, is a local, like I already said. Yeah. And then next up on that is Andy Ogle versus Josh
Crispy. Yeah. Now Crispy's what, 3-fight losing streak. Yeah. He's on the chopping block big time, and Andy Ogle lost his debut.
Yeah, and he's a guy from the Ultimate Fighter that was crying and wants to really wants to be in the UFC. So I think Dana White gave him a little free pass there.
Yeah, I'd say either guy that loses is probably going to get cut.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But hey, it's a free fight.
But if it's a really good enough stand-up war, you never know. They might keep him around for an extra fight. You never know.
I know Andy Ogle. If one thing you got to know, he's going to have heart. He'll put
it on the line. He will put it on the line. Next, you have Paul Sass versus Danny Castillo.
Yeah, Danny Castillo coming out of Alpha Male.
Yeah.
Good camp. I think lost his last fight. Did he fight
Michael Johnson? Yeah, Michael Johnson. Yeah. And Paul Sass is a local.
Yeah, I think Paul Sass is considered more like a real submission guy. I think
he's gonna try and take it to the ground.
Yeah.
Next we have Terry Idom versus Rene Forte. Now,
I'll tell you,
Terry's a local guy. Now he's coming back from that devastating head kick.
That he was knocked out before he hit the mat.
He was gone.
Edson Barbosa
just
highlight reel.
Yeah, just gone. Now we have, both of us have Forte on the chopping block if he loses this one.
Yeah, I mean, what's funny is Rene Forte, he starts off his career, I think he was like a 6-fight win streak, starts off his pro career.
And then he just took some hits.
Yeah, well, he started, getting to step up in competition. But that kid is only 25 years old.
He's young. Even if he for some reason they let him go, if he comes back, he's gonna come back better. And he's still young. He still has a lot of time.
He's fought a lot in Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around. Next we have Chan Mills versus Matt Riddle. Now Riddle's hungry. Welterweights. They're both. Chan's got much more experience. Now I have. Now Chan Mills, he beat Dwayne Bang Ludwig, which is, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And, Matt Riddle beat McGuire. So they're both hungry. They're both,
I think, ranked in the 60s.
Yeah, 60s. So they're getting up there. They're getting up there.
Yeah, Riddle, he's one of those.
Where were we?
Dude, I'm telling you, the dangers of driving around with a dash-mounted camera.
No worries. So we're talking about,
Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. He's the only guy I think that's spent his entire fighting career in the UFC.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. And he's one of those guys, just like a lot of those guys, you just love watching him fight,
And he's young too. He's very young. Next we have James Tuhuna versus Ryan Jimmo.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be this one's got my attention.
Yeah, I mean, you got Jimmo. He has been he got that super fast knockout at his debut. Then it does the robot and the splits and all that stuff. I've been wanting to see him come back. I mean, gosh, we've been waiting over 6 months to watch him.
5 straight wins so far.
And Tuhuna though, Tuhuna is a KO machine.
Yeah, it's it could be. I think it's gonna be pretty much. It's going to be a war or it's going to be quick. Now, Tuhuna is coming back from beating Joey Beltran when he dropped down and it was a unanimous decision. His only loss comes to Gustafsson, which is a given.
Gustafsson. Yeah. So I think that's a really good matchup. That's the first fight on Fuel, I think.
Yeah, and Tuhuna is the local, as you stated. Mm-hmm. Next we have...
kind of the local. The Aussies, they always have a big... Aussies and Great Britain.
They have a little thing. It's the same lineage, but they still have their little...
Yeah, there's a connection.
Yeah. Next is Gunnar Nelson versus George Santiago. George is back.
And Gunnar, I think he's one of the few undefeated fighters around.
Now, this is definitely a step up for Gunnar, facing George Santiago. So, this is, this is going to be an interesting fight. Next, we have now Jimmy Manua.
Oh, Manawa.
I always horrible with names. I'm sorry.
Manawa
versus Diabate.
Yeah, and you got Manawa. Yeah. That guy has not lost in the UFC.
No,
he's been running through dudes. Cyril Diabate looked great in his last fight.
He fought against. He did pretty good against Chad Griggs, but they still want more out of him, I guess.
Yeah.
They see the UFC. They see the potential.
Yeah, I mean. The veteran part of him is there, And,
I mean, he's built like a tank.
But I'll tell you, Manoa, man, that guy, he's a force.
No, it's going to be a really, really good fight.
Yeah.
Next, you have, now we're getting possible fight of the night here. Cub Swanson versus Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Oh, man.
That's going to be really good.
Cub Swanson, we're seeing him being reinvented. And, a little bit of a stumble there. But, man, he has been on a tear. 3-fight win streak.
You know what? Swanson beat Oliveira, and Dustin Poirier beat Jonathan Brookins. So they're both coming off of wins, and they just want to keep on, climbing that ladder.
I'm really liking the way Swanson's been getting his game together. He's got a new way of approaching it. Greg Jackson's been doing great things.
The 145 division is starting to get really intriguing as you go to the top.
Favorites.
Yeah, I mean it's starting to get really intriguing.
Has fight out of the night written all over it.
Unless the main card takes it, which is Renan Barão versus Michael McDonald.
Michael McDonald's quietly got himself a title
shot.
Both
5-win streaks on both sides.
And I say title shot because I actually consider Renan Barão the champion, only because, hey, if you're injured, if you can't defend your belt in a year, you lose your belt.
That's it.
There's nothing bad about it.
And we love Dominic. We love Dominic, but that's what it is. Yeah. Michael McDonald, of course, last fight against Miguel Torres, love that guy too, and devastating.
He is so well-rounded.
Yeah.
I just don't think he has the KO power that Barão has. I don't see anywhere that he can beat Barão. I just don't. The only thing I see happening is, Barão doesn't have a questionable casting, does he? I don't think so.
The last fight I saw him against Uriah Faber, he looked pretty good. He looked a little like he was getting a little withered, but they're going 100 miles an hour in that weight class to begin with. But the thing is that when you see Barão, I still remember that face-off on The Ultimate Fighter when Barão was up against Uriah Faber. Barão looked like he was,
his hands are huge,
155, 170 guy. He looked huge. His fist was almost as big as Uriah's head. I'm exaggerating,
I think
beast.
I think Barão's going to retain the belt. I think he's going to keep the belt. But I actually think it's just going to go to the decision. Barão's just going to outpoint him.
If it doesn't go up by knockout or maybe submission, if it goes 5 rounds, hopefully Barão's gas tank is really good. Because when you get into the championship rounds, let's say the 4th and 5th, you think it's not that much, but after that 3rd round, man, basically it just starts, I don't know if it's psychological or whatever, but you literally start like, oh my God, you have to stay mentally strong besides physically strong. I think Anderson Silva said many times that half the fight is in your head. So who do you have on the main card?
Well, I think Cub Swanson's going to take Poirier. And I definitely think Renan Barão's going to just win a decision. I don't think he's going to finish him. I think Manoa, I think there's a good chance he could get a submission win there. I got Gunnar Nelson over Santiago. And Jimo, I got Jimo actually winning a decision over Tahuna. I don't think he's going to be able to knock him out.
I have pretty much almost the same picks as you, but I'm going to say that Barão is going to knock out Michael McDonald. I'm going to go out in the stretch. I think he really wanted to knock out Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
And he even said it. I'm sorry I couldn't finish it. He still beat Uriah Faber. Uriah Faber's he's legit. And we'll be talking about him shortly later on because he's fighting Manjavar. But I see Barão either TKO or KO, maybe in the 2nd round. First round will be touchy-feely, playing patty cake. Second, I think if he gets his range and his rhythm correct, I think he's going to go in for a knockout. And not to knock Michael McDonald, but that's because he feels he owes that to his fans when he fought Uriah Faber. Because he said, I'm going to knock out Uriah Faber.
Yeah.
So, pretty good, interesting card.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to mention at the end was if you guys haven't checked out the Fantasy League on UFC, you might want to try that out again. I finally got back into it. I used to be into it. Now they got a whole new way of doing it, and I really like it. You just go to UFC.com/fantasy.
You were telling me that the interface is really clean. It's really nice.
I like the way that they've done it. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing how I match up against everyone else.
You know, I'm probably gonna do that too. Yeah. When I get up there right now, I'm gonna see. I'm really intrigued with this. This will be my my little treat to myself after lunch.
Yeah, if you want to check out my picks, it's under Whiplash TV, and hopefully we'll be able to see who picks the best lane.
Thanks for the Twitters, Jesse1X,
MMA the hard way,
and waiting to hear more from you guys.
Great. See you next time.
Thank you very much.